It used to be a meme, it used to be shot down for licensing reasons, it used to be a pipe dream for sim racers, the Nürburgring, Nordschleife and Assetto Corsa Competizione. As no SRO-sanctioned event ran at the track, licensing would not allow the legendary Green Hell to appear in ACC, until the announcement that the Nürburgring 24 Hours would be part of the IGTC calendar from 2024 onwards. Rumors kept swirling around until developer Kunos Simulazioni finally announced in November that the track would actually come to the sim. Since then, its supposed April 1 release date confirmed in mid-March seemed like a very early April Fool joke, but here we are, the Nordschleife makes its debut and we have gotten to try a preview version over the weekend. Has Kunos nailed it? Are there any surprises? Is it the virtual Nordschleife experience we all have been waiting for? Here are some of the things we have learned so far. Welcome back to Overtake, a late happy Easter to you, and as expected, the Nordschleife for Assetto Corsa Competizione adds one new track layout to the sim, namely the 25.3 km long used in the 24-hour race over recent years. Compared to the Nürburgring version that comes with ACC by default, the GP loop in the 24-hour version skips the Mercedes Arena. The usual first sector is bypassed by a tight right-left chicane. Other than that, the layout remains intact, although the anti-cut measures like tire stacks and curbs in the NGK chicane, so right before turning onto the Nordschleife, are slightly different. Kunos has also implemented the warm-up lap shortcut because running a full lap on the Nordschleife before starting a timed lap is a bit excessive. In the real 24-hour race and NLS races too, it is possible to use the final turn of the GP loop to run over start-finish and start your timed lap. This also works in ACC and even the AI use it, which is rarely the case in other titles. In Race Room this works as well, while the shortcut does not work in Automobilista 2, for example. Some more basic facts about the Nordschleife update in ACC. In real life, it is broken up into 17 main timing sectors given the length of the track. In Assetto Corsa Competizione, however, this will be just 3 seemingly very long sectors like every other track in the game. Fans of large grid races, both online and offline, will be happy. The track sees a whopping 110 grid slots available for online racing. That number drops to a still commendable 50 for offline AI racing. Much like the majority of content drops, this latest DLC pack will come with an update to the overall title. According to the release notes, ACC gets adjustments to damper and suspension geometry handling with a new version alongside some AI tweaks regarding their pit stop strategy, GT2 BOP adjustments and the addition of a few Alpine esports liveries. So how was the track? Having modeled the ring to represent the 24 hours, getting the atmosphere right was an important task for Kunos. And it is safe to say that they succeeded. For someone who visits the ring all year round and drives there a lot, everything is where it should be. From the signs to the buildings to other trackside objects. Like in Forza Motorsport, I feel like there are a little more trees than in the real world. What can be said, however, is that the attention to detail and accuracy here is significantly higher than in the Microsoft and many other versions of the track. But it should not be forgotten that this track also costs extra in ACC. At the time of recording, we do not yet know the price, which will probably be between 13 and 18 euros or US dollars. At no additional cost, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy this type of content. Liking and hitting that bell to also receive notifications is the icing on the cake. Thank you. The lighting around the track is excellent, with the occasional ray of sun breaking through the dense forest. Parts of the track are already much darker than those still bathed in the light of the setting sun. Ironically, the track really shines at night. Coming up to Sabine Schmidt's corner, you can already see the trees being lit up red, then blue, then green. Turn into the left-hander and you see that the camp at the top of the hill is in full-on party mode. Laser show and campfire included. They even modeled the big tents of the Toyota Gazoo Racing Experience place, which was at the exact same place in real life in 2023. This is the case for most spectator areas surrounding the track, emulating the party atmosphere of the real 24 hours very well. I had some excessive walks there in Hatzenbach during last year's race, and it's really funny how accurate this is. In between, however, you race through the pitch-black night engulfing the Eifel Mountains. Visually, the ACC Nordschleife is an absolute treat and arguably the most beautiful representation in sim racing today. You should definitely grab the free camera, fly around and capture some of the details, or just look down from the namesake Nürburgring. With such a long track, you might wonder about its performance in-game, and rightfully so, considering that ACC is not the most hardware-friendly title out there. First, the loading time is quite fast, and then neither Yannick or I noticed much of a difference with our RTX 4080 AMD and Intel combinations compared to other content in ACC. This changes a bit when you fill the track with 49 AI cars. During the start I lost almost 50% of my FPS, from over 100 down to 50 to 60 FPS on my triples. It's quite hard on your CPU. Otherwise, we'd say it's well optimized. Only once during my testing I did experience a major freeze. So how do ACC cars handle the Nordschleife? One of the concerns raised by sim racers was the curb behavior of ACC in regard to the Nordschleife. Curbs can be deadly on some of the other tracks after all, and the green hell requires full commitment over some of them to be quick. Fortunately, this is not a problem, nor should it be. Modern GT3 cars with their solid piston shocks and modern race suspensions in general provide a comparably smooth ride with a high level of car control through most of the Nordschleife. In some cars, the generally bumpy nature of ACC is more noticeable than in others, and even with 0% road effect setting, I sometimes receive more hits in my steering wheel than I would expect. Whilst not featuring the recently raised curb at the top of the hill after Fuchsröhre, we do believe that the scan to be as recent as the 2023 season. It is very accurate from my in real life on-track experience. The M4 GT3 or the 296 Ferrari felt very friendly to start with, and my favorite experience on this track so far is the Porsche Cup in light rain in the morning hours, an absolute blast. Kunos has really captured the character of the track, where it feels so rewarding to get it right, but it can still surprise you after hundreds of laps. A good example where I often saw people struggling in the rain is the Klostertal corner. And the behavior of the car when you're too far inside and step on the gas is absolutely on point. The AI also works well here. It is very respectful and consistent. However, we did see a few mistakes, for example in Pflanzgarten, and the AI seems to have general problems with the Tiergarten breaking into Hohenrhein chicane. T1 can also be tricky sometimes, especially after starting the race, so there is room for some AI improvements and polishing. Let's get to the verdict. Let me tell you as a local that this representation is the best and most accurate digital Nordschleife experience you can have in 2024, miles ahead of the Forza version, for example. The somewhat outdated track in the original AC is also great, so is the one in GT7, and these titles also allow you to drive street cars and different layouts like the tourist variant. That's the only things I am missing here, as well as a more detailed rain simulation with realistic puddles like in iRacing. So there's still some room for improvements for maybe AC2, who knows. Otherwise, this is amazing, and I'm pretty sure that it will live up to the high expectations of the community. Let us know about your thoughts in the comments, and if you plan to buy the 24-hour Nordschleife DLC. Which online series will you be competing in? And then this video about upcoming Automobilista 2 updates might also be interesting for you. See you next time.